Hello folks, this is Steve AB4L coming into Cedar Falls on this beautiful, nice, warm, little bit of breeze Sunday in mid-May. Now you know, they say no through traffic. There's a detour, and I'm just curious because it's been at least 2 weeks how much progress they made. Now the last time we were here, when we got to the farthest orange signs and we looked forward, we saw that there was a digger in the road. Now for those of you who don't know, just up above there was a culvert, very old, to allow water from the dam to the left of the road as we look at it to cross under the road and then go down a channel on the right side. Okay, so we see several pieces of heavy equipment . I'm going to park it. Let me get my camera. Let me get my walking cane. Let me see if I can get up there and get a close-up view. There we go. I'm not going to walk far. I'm not going to touch anything. You can hear the river down there. Now what that probably means is if they dig down 100 inches, it's bedrock. That's a guess. If you know, oh, I know what this does. What do you think it does? 2 meters, 6.6 feet, customer responsibility, check oil and water daily, grease daily, check transmission hydraulic oil daily, flat tires, damaged equipment, blah, 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 blah. Ultra low sulfur diesel fuel only, G rental, cat rental, RTSC3. Oh, I'm glad I came up here. Now that's for erosion control if it rains. They don't want it to erode down to the river. Pardon my camera work, folks. Now I remember when they were digging through here to bury the fiber optic. Okay, here we go. They've made very good progress. There we go. Now I'm not going to go much farther. Okay, so this goes over there and you can't see it, but just to the left is the dam across the deep river, which is just literally 40 feet that way. Yes, I know where I am. See that orange tubing? You see the fiber optic? Do you see the orange? They reburied the fiber optic. You see the thing there I showed you up on the fence down there in Franklinville? Same thing. That's a junction box. That's the old culvert that collapsed. So it rusted out. Who knows how many years it was in there. There's the new one. Now, I can't go any further. The channel, can you see there's a natural channel down there? That would run all the way down to the factories, the original one, behind it to the left as we look at it. And I'm told there's still the original wooden paddle wheel back there. Then it would cross the road and go into the deep river. But there's a culvert under that junction, that intersection today, and that's a pump there. I'm glad I came up here. Oh, this is great. I told you I knew they had been doing the fiber optic over there. And that's as far as the refurbished electrical service came. Now, I don't know if it went underground. I think it did. If you look up there, you'll see that the power lines go down underground, and I'll bet they emerge somewhere up there. There may be a land ownership reason or a terrain reason why they did that. I'm glad I came up here, and I feel as though I came up at the right time so that we see that the work is close to completion. Now, I'm going to say something. They had to work carefully, because if you rip up stuff that's other people's things that are buried and run under, the cost might really go up. Now, you see there's a fence there, and my guess is the reason why the fence was there is not so much to keep you from crossing the land so much as for safety. Because you remember there's a deep channel back there to carry the water from the dam in the old days down to the mill to power it. After the water power, what was next? Steam engine. And that was around 1850 when locomotives really started to be something. And then what came after that? After the 1890s, electric motors, General Electric. We saw that same scenario at the museum in Franklinville. Okay, I'm going to get back in my car. Now we'll see if I can turn it around without going too far off the road. It'll take me a couple of swipes. This is what you learn in high school with Miss Graham in driver ed. How to do this in a donated Chevrolet. I still remember that gray Chevrolet, and I still remember Miss Graham, the driver ed teacher. Looks like he refurbishes equipment. I'm going to say something to him, because I spoke to him the last time I was here, and he told me that a culvert had collapsed. That culvert looks good. Have you been up there?
Yeah.
The culvert really looks good.
Yeah.
And it's huge.
That's what it used to be.
And I saw how the broken one is up there too.
Yeah, it was almost flat.
You told me that the last time. I'm back to see the progress. Looks good. The road will be open sometime soon. The road will be open sometime soon.
I give about a week.
I agree with you. I agree. Thank you. He thinks about a week. I agree with that. Now I'll remind you that you see that if you look up, you see the silver things coming down. They had to redo the entire roof. That was about a year ago, wasn't it? And I was down here and I showed you a couple times when they were working on it. Now, what do you think people are doing down here parking their cars? PFL Logistics, third-party logistics, intermodule, multi-temp warehousing. Can't see the river. Oh well. Oh well. Oh well. They're probably fishing. This is Steve AB4L, yeah. I love this old mill. Now just to remind you, look up to the left at the back. That was the original factory building. I used to think this one to the right was the original, but it wasn't. That was built a bit later after they got the mill going. And behind there, to the left at the back, was where the paddle wheel was, and this intersection was a gully that ran into the deep river over there, and to the right of where that big tree is by the bridge there was the old covered bridge that came across the deep river here on this side of the gully. And if you were to, because I've explored it, if you were to go visiting what I'll call river junctions like this in various parts of the Piedmont, where in the old days they had a covered bridge across, let's say, the Uwharrie River, actually in a number of places, just like they had in Franklinville. What you would find is a succession of piers. Piers are the two ends of the bridge. You understand that? You have to build something up in order to put the, in the original case, wooden trestle. If it's in the middle of the river, it's a pylon. You can call it a pier if you want to, but a pier generally is at the bank. The ones in the river are, I call them pylons, depending on the width of the river. They might have been able to build a wooden bridge with only one or none pylon, but they had to have a pier on each bank. And just as there's a pier hidden down in the bushes where we just came up from the original bridge, back then somebody had to build it, and just like people who built ferries and operated ferries, somebody needed to pay them. Either the community put up all the money, maybe through a church, or you paid a fee to get across the bridge. It wouldn't necessarily be a lot of money, but if you wanted to get your wagon across the bridge, you might give them a penny. Pennies add up if there's a lot of traffic. Okay, I'm headed home. There's the banana plants. Yes, I've worked in a banana plantation in Israel. Steve A.B. Voyelle, just having fun on this beautiful Sunday. Saying see you in 73.